smell it by watching, but I promise you, this wrestling room smells like years and years and years and years of sweat.
That's right.
But with that sweat also comes state championships, team and individual. And we have one of Woodford County's favorite sons with us today. If you would, tell us who you are.
Hey, my name is Shane Parks, 2008 state champion.
And what weight class?
125 pounds.
125 pounds. Now, as you can see, we're in Woodford County's, I guess it would be now your old wrestling room. This is October 2nd, 2025. I think the team, like the youth, maybe still uses this. I could be wrong about that. I know the Woodford County faithful will let me know what's going on with that. But we wanted to do this video. You were in town for a few things and was like, man, we've been trying to get you lined up forever. Rusty got us lined up to do this here in Woodford's. I guess this is the original hive, you know, the original Yellow Jacket hive where, like I said, the smell that's in this room, the aroma, you probably contributed to that over the years. Is that fair to say?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and so, you know, some of the names you guys have seen on the channel already, four-timer Harrison, four-timer Joe Carr, Ian, Chris Dunn, Josh Whitaker, Tyler, David Carr, Josh Campbell, we got Tywin, Tucker. Who else have we done recently? There's a few more. You guys know who. We've got several on the channel. Lacey, Gilbert, Isaac Johns, all those.
So many to choose from.
Yeah, there's well, that sign behind me you all can see. I've kind of got it positioned to where you can see some of the state champions. So man, we've got just about everybody we've done a review video with. We've got their story of how they got into wrestling. What was the spark, if you will. So
right.
What was your man, I'm going to be on the wrestling team. You know, what was your get into wrestling moment?
I was probably about 4 or 5 years old and just watching my brothers have done it, and my uncle was the coach. So like Rusty kind of said, we didn't have much of a choice, but also I wanted to follow my family's footsteps.
Now, for those that don't know, you said your brother and your uncle. Who is your brothers, and your uncle?
Well, they're both named Rusty Parks, and my brother was a state champion here. He was also on my team state title 2 years in a row, and our uncle coached us through that period, and for I believe 20-something years before that.
So it's I guess old Rusty Senior. You know we love you. I guess it would be like old Rusty and young Rusty.
That's right. Little Rusty and Big Rusty.
Little and Big Rusty. I like that. That sounds like a bad cover band from like a 1980s country. You know, young Rusty and Big Rusty.
That's right.
Big and little. So Woodford County, as you can see, you're going to see some photos of some of the team state championships you're talking about. The state championship board behind us, the state placer board, I think is right there. Well, and the girls, you'll see photos of that. Shout out to Harrison and everybody, whoever was responsible, Tyler Baldwin, whoever it may have been, getting these, the girls, state championship winners and state placers. But as of this filming, there's 69 individual state champions, 66 boys, 3 girls, 13 team state championships starting. The first one was in 1970. And there was a dynasty there in the 70s, 70, 72, 73, 74, 76, 77. And there was I don't want to say a gap, but there was a period where...
a rebuild.
A rebuild's a good word. 93 on, 93, 96, 97, 99, 2000, 2002, 2005, and then the latest one, 2006. 13 of those total. You got to be a part of the 05 year and the 06 year. The 06 year may be Woodford's best team overall. I know people say 97, people say 96. That 06 team was pretty stacked top to bottom. I mean, they're
5 state champions on one team in the same year. That's hard to do.
That's pretty tough. So if you're a Woodford County fan, or we know some people still are Woodford County haters, you're going to hear in your video some boos whenever a Woodford County guy gets his hand raised. I guess had to make you feel good knowing that you're doing something right. People was like, boo!
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just put that in the comments. Which team do you think is better? 06, 96, or 97? We may get a good debate going.
Oh yeah, there will be.
Oh, absolutely. Now, 2005, you're a freshman.
Yep.
103 pounds. In the second round, you run into Travis Sullivan. Of course, Travis is on the channel, 3-time state champion, one of the best lightweights Kentucky has ever seen. I think he broke a national win record there his senior year. Just incredible talent there that come out of Wayne County. But you run into him, he gets you with a fall. 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah.
But I guess all wasn't lost. You're a freshman. You made it to the big dance. You got to. If you're going to get beat in a state championship or state tournament, get beat by the state champion,
there
right?
You go.
And you were able to be a part of that 05 team, 05 state championship team. Had some really good wrestlers on it.
Yeah.
Which Kyle, I think, was next year, 2006. We'll talk about it. Just Kyle Goodrich popped in my head. One person we forgot. There's so many Yellow Jackets. I forget you all. I'm sorry. 2006, man, 103 pounds. You come in third place again. Team state champions. You get back to the quarters and you tighten it up a little bit with Travis. He wins a 2-0 decision. Of course, Travis would go on to win that year. But man, you went from getting pinned 2 minutes and 40 seconds as a freshman to tightening the score up to 2-0 against Travis as a sophomore. What do you think was that like jump or that progression that you went from getting pinned to almost pulling out an upset?
Just worked my butt off, and it kind of losing to him like that, and we were actually the same age, it made me want to get better. And so I was fortunate enough to have a young man by the name of John Smith, who was 2 years older than me and 2 weight classes above me, kick my butt every day in here. So on Saturday, when I got out there and grabbed somebody my own size, it was a little bit different.
I can understand that. When you said John Smith, I thought, is he going to pull out Oklahoma State's coach? I mean,
no, I didn't get a chance to train with him.
I was going to say, are we name dropping an Olympian here?
No, but John Smith was a great wrestler. He was behind Cody Lewis a lot of the time. When he got out and had his own spot, he was the top, one of the top kids in the state. So
that's good, man. That is something, and I've thought about doing this as a video or a post or whatever, like the Hall of Fame best practice partners, because there's been people in this room, Union counties, when Campbell County was rolling, Johnson Central, Sheldon Clark, St. Xavier Trinity, Union County, Hopkinsville, is the number of dudes that could have went anywhere else and probably placed at state, let alone, not even be able to make the roster at their own high school, but they're like, no, I'm a part of this program, I'm a part of this team, I want to make my team better, my practice partner better, whatever. And we've heard a lot of stories about that. Guys that were great, like I said, could have placed, and they decided to stick it out. And there's a lot to be said for that. I mean, there truly is a lot to be said for sticking it out at your program instead of going for, the immediate glory, being able to say forever, I'm a Yellow Jacket. I'm a Woodford County Yellow Jacket. Ain't nobody can ever take that away from me. We were, you guys see photos earlier of the Woodford County team state championships all up in the gym, and be able to walk in and be able to point, whether it's your kids or your family or class reunion or something like this video like this, be able to pull it out and be like, let me show you something right here. That's me on that wall. I stuck it out. This guy was my practice partner every day. I beat him up, but I couldn't get ahead of, this person was always better. And so if you do that, I salute you. I truly do. I know that's in today's in college, the NIL, the transfer portal, all that, and people move now in high school like crazy. But sticking it out, man, being a part of something, there's a lot to be said for that.
Absolutely. Those guys are important. Your practice partner has to be a good practice partner, but they also have to push you. And we used to have wrestle-offs every week. Somebody could challenge you for your varsity position. So you had to stay on game, you know what I mean? You couldn't be slacking or they were going to come get your spot, because to them, every match was, that was their big moment to shine. And
just by coincidence, you said the word, I'm wearing my shoot shirt. Frank Jasper sent me this after we done his video here on the channel, and then that movie Vision Quest, Swain's cutting down to get the shoe. I'm 18, but I haven't really done anything with my life. And the first time most people knew how varsity spots were picked was the movie Vision Quest, wrestle-offs.
Wrestle-offs, yep.
And so if you were in wrestling, unless you were just an absolute animal, you probably had to wrestle off. I had to wrestle off every week for my spot when I was on the team, and I know how that goes. Some weeks you win, some weeks you're just like, I got to wear the crap singlet. You know what I mean? I got to wear the one that was 8 years used. But man, 2007, you're a junior. I don't want to say you take a step down on the podium, but you kind of go up in weight. You're 119 pounds. You come in 5th place. Your team comes in state runner-up. But man, unfortunately, you run into, I believe, is it Chu? John Chu?
Yeah, John Chu, yeah.
From Seneca out of Louisville. He wins a 3-2 decision on you.
Yep.
So walk us through that. Tell us about that.
Well, I had beaten him in the WCI finals, just a month or two before that, and I beat him pretty good. I think it was like 8-0 or 8-1. It was a pretty solid win, and maybe I underestimated him a little bit in that state match, but there was a couple questionable calls, and he put me in a couple bad spots, so I didn't close that out. And the funny thing is, that year at 119, I had beaten all the placers above me, so I actually went into the state tournament number 1. But yeah, man, and then come back and lose a tough match to a kid named Brian Daniels, who I beat at state duels by at least a major decision, and I think that Chu loss was still in my head, and that's something that you can't do. You can't let your most recent loss affect the upcoming match, and I think that's what happened there as well.
And that's a great teaching point for the young wrestlers that's going to watch this, no matter when it is, current or 15, 20, 30, 50 years down the road. They say it in football, the quarterback throws an interception, you got to have a short memory.
Forget about it.
In wrestling, in your era, my era, it was 45 minutes for between matches. Now it's 30 minutes. Hey, after you win, loss, whatever, that 30 minutes goes by quick. Right. It may be a little bit longer, but you're looking at 30 minutes. I mean, as soon as you come off the mat, you got to be, all right, I can still place, I can still do this, we can still score team points, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And got to get back out there, and you can't let somebody beat you twice. You can't let somebody beat you 3 times. You're not even wrestling. You can't let your mental side effects of that be like, looking up at the lights on your back, man, I should have beat you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the wrong time to be worrying about that now. Put it all out there while you're out there, and then come off the mat and start prepping for the next one. My sophomore year, when I got beat by Travis Sullivan 2-0 in the quarters, I had a really long wrestle back to get back to third. I think I had to win 5 or 6 matches in a row. Mm-hmm. So that's more of what you want, benefit off of a loss and move forward.
I completely understand that, and it should be said that Chu would go on to lose 9-0 in the finals to Matt Zarth. Henry Clay, of course, 3-time Matt Zarth. It's Dr. Matt Zarth now.
Oh, wow, good for him.
Yeah, he's actually just up the road in Lexington. He's an anesthesiologist, and we've talked to Matt. For those asking, we've spoke to Matt. We spoke to some other people, friends with Matt, and he's on board. It's just working around his schedule. It's kind of hard to tell a doctor, hey man, put your patients on hold and let's do your state championship review video. So as soon as we can get, maybe we have to do them one at a time or whatever, but we are going to be getting with Matt to do his. And I guess you would probably have wrestled Matt as close as what Woodford, not just proximity, but Coach Carr, University of Kentucky wrestler, Coach Headley, University of Kentucky wrestler. You guys, at the time, I would say probably the 2 premier programs in Central Kentucky. So I'd have to say you guys hooked it up a few times. Is that fair?
Yeah, I believe he beat me. Zarth, I think he beat me twice, and I beat him once. So we always had good matches, and he was a really tough kid through hard work. I mean, he outworked his opponents. I will say that about him.
You may not remember this, but I officiated the 2007 regional tournament at Henry Clay. Mm-hmm. And shout out to our friend Josh Ashbrook from Harrison County. Got the video of it, and watching a 20 22-year-old me officiate the regional tournament. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't even watch myself. But I got to officiate a lot of Woodford guys. I'm pretty sure I got to officiate one of Matt's matches. It didn't last very long, but just I had that on my head. I try to timestamp a lot of things with people. Oh man, I remember refereeing you.
Yeah.
I had hair then. You know what I mean? My hair hadn't up and vamoosed. But man, you're a senior. 2008, 125 pounds. You've got a great cast of characters around you. Let's talk about a few
Absolutely.
of them. You're the weight below you, 119, Ethan Miller.
Yep.
Of course, you at 125, Harrison at 145, and then Blake Sheehan was also in the state finals with you at 160. Not just those guys, but you had those, you and then those three, pretty good cast around you. Still really good, really great wrestling room. I don't want to say, because you never want to sell yourself short, but was it like, because Harrison returning 2-time state champion that year coming back.
Yeah.
Pretty good team. Was the mentality, all right, we can knock Union off this year because they won it in 07 and had some dudes, really good guys coming back in 08? Or was it, if I go out and I know I can place at least be in the finals, Harrison, what he's got, Ethan, Blake, those guys, was it like the sum was greater than the parts, or how did it, what was the mentality coming in to that season thinking, okay, we're getting number 14 this year, or we got a bunch of, we don't have maybe the numbers to compete, but we all know we go out, we can all place really high, we may be able to, make some crazy noise.
Absolutely. I believe that I don't know if they were all starting, but the majority of us we had 10 seniors that year.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
we knew we had a powerful team, and you try to peak at the right time. So even if the beginning of your season is a little bit rocky, you always have time to peak right there at the end and show what you really got.
No, man, that's a great way and that's a lot of seniors on the team.
We were stacked, man, and a lot of us were good friends, so we held each other accountable. Hey, man, where were you at practice yesterday? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that helps as well.
I completely understand. And to the new team starting up, we know there's a lot of new teams in Kentucky starting, boys and girls teams, not just in Kentucky, but across wherever you're watching this from. 1996 Olympian Ivan, the owner of Supple's Wrestling Equipment. We've talked a few times. He enjoys the review series and the rule series that we started a couple years ago. So, man, it's kind of good to have an Olympian. Like the other day, I couldn't believe it. I posted about going out to cover the Rainey twins who's number 1. And when I posted that, 10 minutes later, Ken Chertow's personal page followed me, and I was like, "Oh my God, what is this real life?"
Wow.
Ken Chertow is really following me now. So it was kind of
nice.
cool that not just it has nothing to do with me. You can cover me up. This has nothing to do with Alex Green. This is about Kentucky wrestling. This is about what our state, our sport has always had. We've always known we've had great wrestling. We've had great stories. Great mat rooms, just great sports stories. We've just been hid for far too long, and that's what I love about this series, is being able to come to the room like this, being able to come to where so many people wrestled, become men, if you will, went out into the world and become great dads, great husbands, great business leaders, not just in this mat room, but mat rooms across the state. And the stories have been hid, man, and I just love being able to tell them, let the world know what's going on in Kentucky. We got more here than horse racing, bourbon, fried chicken. You know what I'm saying? We got some good wrestling too. We got some good other stuff too. The horse racing, Keeneland right down the road. There's some farms, some pretty famous thoroughbreds up the road here. So we got that, and we got some good wrestling. But man, you start off the first round with a 2-minute and 44-second fall over Tom James of Kentucky Country Day out of Louisville. So, man, you get in, you get out.
Yeah.
Usually you can tell the cream, not to use the cliche, but the cream usually rises in the first round. Very, very rarely is there a first round upset. Outside somebody being hurt, just a freak accident or missing weight or something, very rarely do you see a first round upset. Very,
Right.
very rarely. The second round, you're wrestling D.C. Evans out of Whitley County.
Very tough kid.
I was going to say you win a 7-3 decision, and I got to officiate D.C. a few times there. back when he was, rocking and rolling. And he was actually in the '07 finals against Travis Sullivan. And Travis, of course, won that match. But still, DC, man, that's a pretty tough draw there in your second round.
He was a very tough kid, physically strong. He had good technique. I think his brother had something to do with wrestling as well because he was always coaching him and stuff. DC, he was a very talented wrestler.
And back in that era, that early 2000s era, a lot of your Cumberland College guys, I don't want to say JV, but you'd always have a lot of the Cumberland College wrestlers there helping with, not like going to practice. They may have, I don't know, but you'd always see them at meets, Cumberland College gear or whatever. So they had a pretty good coaching, pretty good teaching there, having, collegiate guys around them, helping them. I'm sure they've done off-season work together. But you could tell, Whitley's program there for a while was, upper middle tier. I don't want to say upper tier, but I would say upper middle. You didn't want to wrestle one of them. I'll put it like that.
Right, just hard-nosed kids, So there's a lot to be said about just going out there and being tough.
Be tough.
Yeah.
The quarterfinals, you're wrestling Joaquin Luna out of Louisville Eastern. Mm-hmm. No, I'm sorry.
That was semis.
That's my bad. In the quarters, you're wrestling Stephen Norberry out of Simon Kenton. Man, you squeaked one out. I hate to say it, but 7-6, man.
Yeah.
And Stephen come in 8. So tell us about that 7-6 one.
Stephen Norberry, I'd never wrestled him, but Simon Kenton has always been a good team. Mm-hmm. And so actually it's funny because we practice a move in here every day called a Peterson.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That is the one time in my career that I used the Peterson, and it saved my butt. It was in that match there.
Being around Coach Carr and Coach Parks, I can only imagine whenever Joe Sr. saw, whether it was a trapped arm getting ready to roll through,
Yeah.
He was probably standing up doing hokey pokey, trying Peterson.
Oh yeah.
I can only imagine when you hit it, probably it's as a coach, it has to be a good feeling when you drill, like I said, drill move every day, and when your wrestler needs it in the quarterfinals of the state tournament, something you drill every day, boom, there it is.
Yes, sir.
And you win, and that's his teaching tool forever.
Yep.
He can say that, not just him, but anybody in his lineage below that. In 2008, Shane Parks was down, he hit a Peterson, something we drilled every day, never used it, and it won him out.
Yep.
That's a teaching tool.
Absolutely.
You know it is. Now let's talk about Joaquin Luna out of Louisville Eastern. Semifinals, you win a major decision, 11-3, come in 6th place. So I don't want to say your semifinals were easier, but the score would indicate that you kind of had, a little bit of your way with Mr. Luna.
And that was a sweet win because he used to beat me when we were little. A lot of these kids, in youth wrestling, you don't always stay the same weight, but sometimes you'll hook back up after a couple years of not seeing each other, and so that was a little vindication right there. I got a sweet win off of somebody who had beaten me previously.
And with today's youth, the way it is, there's travel teams, there's all-star teams, and it's great. Don't get me wrong. We have needed middle school wrestling, club wrestling, elementary to go out in other states and represent Kentucky and get our kids across the state better matches in the off season to be able
Absolutely.
to make our wrestling better here in Kentucky. But you see, now on social media, you'll see, whatever teams, Northern Kentucky squad or Western, whatever it may be, the Central Kentucky Wrestling Club, whatever it is, they'll go to Gatlinburg or the beach somewhere, Iowa, and they're 8, 9, 10 years old. Then you'll see them wrestle in the state finals 3 or 4 years later.
Right.
They'll get their parents, whoever coaches, will get a photo of them before they go out for the state finals. They'll post that one and the one when they were a kid, and it's like, man, that's kind of cool to see somebody you traveled with, them, and it's for all the marbles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty cool. I enjoyed seeing that. But man, in the finals, you're wrestling Voth from Dunbar. I believe it's John Voth.
Yep.
From Paul Lawrence Dunbar, another Lexington school. Now we're not going to tell you the outcome. We have the face-off match, or the face-off video match and medal ceremony. Dunbar right up the road, Lexington. I'm sure you had to wrestle him a few times. Is that fair?
I think we wrestled 17 times throughout our career.
Well, I wasn't expecting 17, but I was expecting you to say you wrestled in the regional finals the week before, because I done my due diligence as a investigative journalist, if you will, and I looked it up, and you won a 10-8 decision over him in the regional finals the week before. So coming in, man, somebody you've wrestled that many times, I'd have to imagine all throughout your career as a kid,
right,
knowing this is it. I will never again officially wrestle for Woodford County. I'm in the finals against somebody that I have wrestled basically my whole life. What's the mentality?
I was so focused that match meant so much to me, and like you said, I knew it was probably going to be my last match ever, at least for Woodford. Mm-hmm. So it just really meant a lot to me, and that's where all your hard work comes in. I believed in the system, and I knew what he was capable of, but I also knew that if I go out there and get my points, mm-hmm, I'll be tough to beat.
I completely understand that. Now, we've asked a lot of guys from the Dungeon era, 96 to 11, and then the Louisville era, pre-96, 95 down. When you win that semifinals, do you come back to your house? Do you go to the hotel? What do? Do you stay in the arena?
I believe we stayed there, but we might have went across the street to the hotel. That was a nice little, a little bit quieter place to get away from all the crazy for a few hours. But you do have quite a bit of downtime between your semis and your finals match, so it's nice to unwind a little bit.
The 2002 through 2011 state tournament was 3 days.
Right.
It was a very long 3 days.
Very long.
Believe me, because I believe, I could be wrong about this, but if you were in the championship bracket, you wrestled, I think it was either 1 or 2 matches on Thursday. And if it wasn't 1 or 2, it was flipped. It was 1 or 2 on Friday, and then I think 2 on Saturday. Your semis in the morning, and of course your finals at night, right? So, I mean, you could be sitting around all day warming up, whatever. You could wrestle that match 1,000 times in your head and wear yourself out before you even stepped on the mat. So that was Josh Muncie, the first video that we did. He said that when there was 3 of his teammates, him and 2 other guys, that Coach Matney sent them back to the hotel. And you can see me in the video, like the gears are turning, and I'm like, wow, what a move to send your wrestlers back to relax and all that kind of stuff. So you go back to the hotel for a little bit. You've got, of course, you, Ethan, and I believe Blake and Harrison, all 4 of you guys, do y'all go back together? Are you like in the same room, different rooms? Do you remember?
I don't quite remember that part, but there's a very good chance that we stuck together. And then a lot of times we would still have teammates wrestling, and we had to be there for them, so it wasn't all about us at that point. It was a team mentality, and if we had guys that were out there on the mat, our butts better have been present.
I can understand that. So has it been a while since you saw this state finals video?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the last time I saw it. It was probably sometime around right after it happened.
I understand, and that's one of the beauties of the series is I reach out to guys, I'll send like a screenshot or like a 15-second clip just to let you know I've got it, because I want the reaction to be genuine. I don't want a fake or, seen it 100 times. No, I want the real, you're in the zone watching that type of reaction. And our buddy Harrison Courtney, current head coach here at Woodford County, him and his dad Brent, doing a great job with the program. Harrison found this video. It was on a DVD. Kids, ask your parents what a DVD is. It was on a DVD. Harrison got it converted, and we got several. If you haven't checked out Harrison's channel, the Woodford Wrestling Archive, I'm sure you're on there a bunch and other matches. But as far as my purpose goes, the state finals, he found the 92, 91, I think 89, and then this year, and then partial of the 06 state finals. There's like 400 and some videos, but as far as state championship finals goes, that's what we've got from him. And it's great. It's in the Woodford County section there at the, you could always pick out Woodford's section, the bleached blonde hair, the banner that hung up there. Of course, those yellow, or I guess they were neon green glow sticks that you guys had there. Several teams are around the state. There's a lot of blues, a lot of reds, and a lot of like that neon green, but you could always tell that Woodford section. They was always the loudest in the building back when they were rocking and rolling. If you never got to attend state finals at the Dungeon, you really missed out. I see that in every video. It was the best atmosphere the KHSAA ever put on.
It was.
It just felt like something out of a movie. I mean, it truly just felt like this is not real life, like over the top when they're arm wrestling there in Vegas. Are you going to go to an arm wrestling contest and see something like that? Probably not. But it's cool for the movie. Bloodsport there in that little dungeon there, where they have to go through the back alleys there of Hong Kong. That whole setup, you know, that's movie. But the dungeon was real. It was almost a movie set. The people were into it. It was crowded. It was loud. The spotlight there on the mat. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree. It was very, very intimate. You know, you were close enough to pretty much anywhere in that arena. You had a good seat. So that was the nice part about that. One mat right in the middle, spotlight on it. All the attention was really focused on that 6 minutes that was happening right then.
And speaking of focused, you mentioned that, you know, Woodford's got 4 in the finals. Do you have a lot of family that come, a lot of friends, a lot of classmates that are there supporting you 4?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's what keeps us going too. You know, the people backing you, it makes you want to go harder. So. And
Woodford or Versailles to Frankfurt isn't that far of a trip. What, 30 minutes maybe?
Woodford to Frankfurt, yeah, I mean even less.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
And I think didn't Woodford County's graduation take place at the Dungeon for a few years?
We did, yeah.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought. And talking about the fans and like what's on my head, this past year to state tournament, Isaac Johns won at 2-time state champion, and the 2000 team got recognized. Of course, Isaac won, and he runs right off the mat, jumps over the barrier there into the Woodford County section. It was really cool that the 2000 guys were there. Coach Parks, Coach Carr, some other people, some family. Michael Jackson's mom was there to see the 25-year later. That was me at one point. You know what I mean? I think if we were all still able, we would all jump over that banner if we had done something similar. So, man, we've talked enough about it. You ready to go back?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go. Now the audio here skips just a little bit.
Yeah, his brother was a 2-time state champion, I believe, John Voth.
Tyler.
So that always helped out too. You know, when you had an older brother that had done it and been successful. Rusty used to come in and kick my butt. I'm pretty sure Tyler used to go in there and kick his butt.
And there you are, man, in that Woodford County black and yellow with the bleach blonde hair.
Yep.
So, wrestling him this many times, you guys had to know each other.
Absolutely.
And what was like your stay away from this on him, but I know I can get this on him?
Well, he had some funky moves that he would try to hit, and he was a very strong kid. So I knew that there was dangerous positions I had to stay out of, but also I knew I was shooting. That was just my game plan. I knew I was shooting, my opponent knew I was shooting, and the whole arena knew I was shooting. It's, can you stop it?
Okay.
So right here I'm playing a little bit of defense, actually. But I know I got to go out and get my points.
Yeah.
Keep faking. I kind of moved in and out. So, somebody to see this match that had never seen me wrestle before, they're like, what's this guy doing? But that was my style. I danced around the outside until I saw an opportunity, and I was going for that leg.
Just like that right there. Shoot in, finish through, get your takedown.
Yeah, I wanted to establish a lead early and, make him be on the comeback. I didn't want to. You don't ever really want to be down in a wrestling match. So if you can go out and establish a lead, I think that's a good game plan.
Now, I do want to say that the cuts and I guess the choppiness, that was just the way that the DVD converted. So it's, nothing that we done. It's just sometimes the heavy hand of time can take its toll on things.
Right here, hand fighting a little bit. That's actually a situation my coaches were probably screaming at me to get out of. I didn't have a whole lot of upper body strength, so I relied on my technique and my quickness to kind of avoid those strong guys.
I understand.
Their strong suits. here again, coach probably told me get out of there, which was a good idea because John, he had a strong upper body.
Now, that cut right there in between periods, that was the way the video was. Do you remember, did you take down? Did he take down? Was it neutral? What was
I'm not sure who chose what. I definitely didn't choose top, so I would imagine that he chose bottom,
Okay.
and I just cut him because I felt more comfortable on my feet at this point. So I give him that 1 point. Probably should have scored here, but he always tried the spladle, and he does a little re-switch right there and actually almost gets some points on me here.
And whenever I saw that right there and I knew the score, I was like, why did he not pin him right there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, if he was able to get that other leg in, I think I was in trouble. So try to tripod up and just, keep a good position. Right here we might get a stalemate.
Good memory.
So.
Good memory. Do you have any idea who would be filming this as far as like wrestler goes? Because you'll hear the voice. I just want to see if you can pick out who would be.
I'll try for you, but generally we used to share time on that. Oh, that probably could have been 2 right there.
I was going to say
That was very close.
that should have been a takedown.
Very
even
close
in
because I
08
kept my
rules.
feet in, but I think he came up to his hip as soon as it happened, so there was a little reaction time there. I think they gave him the benefit of the doubt right there. Again, I'm not really supposed to be in that situation. The upper body and the throws was usually a last resort for me. If I were down, I knew how to throw someone. Just wasn't really my forte.
You can hear the Woodford County crowd start chiming in. Let's go, Shane.
This is a little bit less boring than I thought it was. There's a lot of action. It only being a
Don't say
couple points in the match.
Don't say the score.
I believe right now it's still 2-1.
Yep, 2-1. Now, were your other matches this active with him?
Oh, absolutely. It was a dogfight every time, every situation.
Yeah.
Nothing was given. So we really had to work for every takedown, every point we gained on each other. And he was a smart wrestler too, so
Now,
very tactical.
You're up 3-1 now in the third period, late in the third period.
I believe I just got an escape.
Yep, that's right.
Yep. So it, so if I'm recalling correctly, I gave him an escape point after the initial takedown,
Yes.
which would have been 2-1, and then he got an escape in the second period, so that would actually have been 2-2. And then I escaped just
Okay.
now,
So-
which made it 3-2.
Yeah, okay, so that he must have took down and you cut him.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did. And then I had given him an escape at the end of the first period after the initial takedown.
Okay, so we're 3-2, third period.
No, it's just about being smart. Look busy, don't get scored on,
Yeah.
and this was a really important big match to me. So I was just staying focused on keeping good defense. And
We got a caution there.
he shot. Yeah, I can't tell exactly who that was. He kept coming though. I mean, he wasn't going down without a. He was still trying to score on me here.
Do something, Shane.
Honestly, I didn't want to do much. I wanted, like I said, look busy and just keep that lead, stay solid. I didn't have to go out and do more. I just needed to keep him where he was.
I understand.
Scoring position here. I mean, I
There it is, man. Final score 3-2.
He's actually a good friend of mine too, John Voss.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, for years.
And there you are, headband with blonde hair, getting your state championship medal.
Yeah, that's one of the things that us seniors decided to do that year. We all had a headband with our name on it, on the back, just kind of,
That's cool.
bring us all together and still stand out a little bit.
And that's where the video ends, man. So the face-off match, medal ceremony, you had a pretty good memory of everything that transpired. But watching it back after all these years, does it play out the way you've, I guess, mentally replayed it over the years, or is it anything different? Or
It does. I mean, it's pretty much from what I remember, but there was a little bit more, thinking back on it, a 3-2 match, it sounds kind of boring. There was actually a lot of action in that match, so, but yeah, like I said, he was a good friend of mine, hard wrestler, so it was a good match. I enjoyed watching that.
Well, man, whenever we've been trying to get you lined up for a while, and you were in town in Kentucky. We call it Versailles. The rest of the world calls it Versailles, the Treaty of Versailles. You know what I mean? You were in town, and I was like, man, I got to drive down. I still love doing in-person videos. The series was based on meeting people, making connections, bringing the series. I wanted it to feel like this wasn't just a certain part of the state, a certain set of schools, a certain time period. I wanted to go out across the state, and I have been, Christian County 3 or 4 times, Northern Kentucky. I've been here. I think this is my 4th time here. Wayne County, Louisville, you name it, my end of the state in Eastern Kentucky. And getting to do in-person videos, man, is, like I said, it's what I built the series on, and that's what we love doing. Zoom makes the world so much smaller, so much easier. But you were in town. We was able to get this lined up, get it in here of all places. So
yeah, it's pretty cool.
It was cool to get this lined up. So did you go on after high school and wrestle, or did you just hang it up there, or how did it go?
You know what? I had an offer to go to a small school in Missouri named Lindenwood, but I decided not to go, and I actually started riding horses shortly after that. My dad was a trainer, so I learned how to ride horses, and that took me on to the next 15 years of life.
All right. Well, that's, like I said, there's a lot of thoroughbreds in. I don't want to say Harrison and Woodford County should wrestle. I don't know how the Yellow Jacket got there, but that should be that should be a battle of the thoroughbreds. Get like a traveling trophy and have it Harrison County, Woodford County every year. Just the battle of the thoroughbreds, because there's so many horse farms in Harrison County, so many great horse farms here in Woodford County. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful horse farms here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it's. Every time they show the Kentucky Derby, they always show that little road going up to where American Pharoah is. I forget the name of the farm where it's at, up here somewhere. I'm sure somebody will put it in the comments. But, man, we've talked a lot, covered a lot of ground. Anything that we haven't covered, anything else you want to add, say, take away, anything like that, man, the floor is yours.
I guess the only thing I can say is, like, to the up-and-coming wrestlers, just keep working hard, and like I said, outwork your opponent, and the rest will take care of itself.
Now, before we go, if you'll indulge me just a second, sure. I want to pull up who we are missing from the Woodford County State Championship series that I have the videos for. 1991, Robert Kemper. If you watch this or somebody knows how to get up with Rob, please reach out. 1995, Josh Spencer. I think Josh moved to North Carolina. He's one of the rare Kentuckians that won a state championship in Kentucky and another state. You got Josh, another Woodford County, Nathan Boston, Stephen Myers at Campbell County, and what was his name at Paducah Tillman? Malachi Ryder. David Carr did it here as well. He went back to Ohio. Of course, he was one of the few 8th graders that won it. But if you can get up with him, Josh, Chris Valentine, 1996, Ryan Lugers from 2000, Kyle Van Zant from 2003, Max Androni from 2017, and then Lauren Walton from 2024. So if you know how to get up with any of those, reach out to myself, Harrison Brent, Young Rusty, Old Rusty, Coach Carr, any of those, anybody we've done a video with, Chris Dunn, any of those guys will be able to get us in contact, because we just want to be able to tell more stories. We just want to be able to let the world know what was going on in Kentucky, what was going on in Woodford County, and let the world know, hey, we got a lot to offer in Kentucky, a lot of great wrestling, and I just love being the person that's been able to bring this up. So, ma'am, thank you for I want to say you flew in to do the video with me, but that makes me feel good. But we know, just happened to get it worked out, man. So thank you all for watching. We will see you guys and girls on the mats.
Thank you, Alex. It's a pleasure.
Thanks, man.